everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Let's just take some minutes to let everyone connect well. Just please keep your micro down when you, yeah, of course. Okay, everyone has done that. So that we cannot hear everyone speaking. Okay, I think everyone's here. Hello, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today at the webinar, How to Start Your Career with NEOMA Business School. I think if you are here today, is that you have already learned some knowledge about NEOMA Business School, you know as well, and you want to know more about our career service and career opportunities that NEOMA offers you later. I will start to present our guest today. My name is Xiaotong Poiré. I'm in charge of international recruitment at NEOMA for all full-time programs, including bachelor, master, and PhD. My colleague here, Vicky Miller, is career consultant at Talent and Career Center of NEOMA.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
We have also the pleasure to have two guests from Neoma Alumni. Michael Joly, Head of Partnership and Membership.
Hello.
Hi, Michael. Maud Cisco, Career Center Coordinator.
Hello.
Hi, Maud. And we are also so glad to have Brenda, one of our recent graduates of MSc Marketing French Excellence. Brenda is from Peru. She's here today to share her real experience of studying NEOMA. Brenda, can you see some words?
Yes, sure. Nice to meet you, and it's nice to we have this opportunity where I can share some of my tips and advices about my experience.
Great, thank you. Yes, so we will have enough time to let everyone share their experience, how they can help for your career in the future. As you can see that today's webinar's keyword is career. So Talent Career Center and NEOMA alumni will share their service for NEOMA students and graduates during this webinar. It would be definitely very interesting as information. For all questions about the choice of program or about admissions, please contact me directly after webinar. My colleague in chat box will leave our admission email address and the Calendly link, which will allow you to book a face-to-face appointment with our recruiter based on your region. So in any case, if you have this kind of question, leave the question chat box or contact me with the email address that will appear in the chat box. And please feel free to leave your questions during the webinar in the chat box. At the end, we will have a Q&A session. Our guests will reply your questions directly if they were not mentioned in the presentation. Well, I think this is clear enough, and let's start the webinar then. Katie, sorry, Vicky, I will leave you the place.
Thank you, Xiaotong. So the idea is to tell you today and explain how we're going to accompany your journey from studenthood, because of course you join NEOMA as students, to your professional life. And there's all kinds of ways in which the Talent and Career Department is going to do this with you. So first of all, it's really a lot of experiential, very modern learning and groups and courses and events that are put in your disposition so that you're going to be able to actually put in practice what you learn immediately and build, and this is very important, build all your employability skills and all of your personal branding tools that you're going to need for a successful job search. In addition to this, we also are very linked to student association experience. Student association experience is where you're also going to develop skills which are really important for employers today. Even if you don't already have a lot of professional experience, student associations can be key in developing these skills. So another thing I wanted to mention, because it's a question that we've had prior to this webinar, is that part of those outside the classroom skills, which are also important and give you extra things to put on your CV. That is also student jobs. Now, when you come to France with a student visa, you have the right in general, and that's of course according to the French government who distribute the visas, but the visas that I have seen for students coming from outside the European Union include the possibility to do 20 hours per week of student job. Now, of course, what we're suggesting is not that you damage in any way your studies by doing too much work outside the classroom. However, you can build interesting skills that are really important for your job search in the future and your internship search in the future by doing a student job. So I wanted to mention that right now. Further to this, oh, sorry, I'm just going to come back to the last one. So further to this, you have the opportunity to have an individual appointment with a career advisor at any stage in your course at Neoma. And that is really important. So don't hesitate to make an appointment with someone from me or my team, and we're going to go through with you your job search strategy and maybe look at what contacts would be good to help you in your search. In addition, we're going to have a lot of events on our campus. Now, these events are going to be focusing on putting you in contact with professionals and alumni from Neoma who are going to share their experiences with you and give you tips and help you succeed in the job market. So we really are interested in facilitating these links. And of course, we have Neoma alumni, Michael and Maud, who are here today. They're going to tell you a lot more about their impact on your future career development. But while we're at school, it's the talent and career department that's organizing the events, and we very often are lucky enough to have Michael and Maud and their colleagues come to our campus and help you and advise you. And the last point I wanted to mention, because that's obviously very key, and it's one of the questions that was mentioned, is all kinds of recruitment opportunities on campus. That means job fairs, it means webinars, it means career-oriented sessions, like for example, for auditing or for other types of careers. We're going to organize recruitment events with employers and partners of Neoma who are very interested in hiring you. So we're putting you not only in contact with the Neoma network and with professionals, but also with recruiters who are actually hiring. So that's really, really important. Now, to go further, I'm not sure that all of you know this, but Neoma has 6,000 internship agreements each year. So we're a very big school with a lot of professional experience going on each year. We publish on our website, Job Teaser, 98,000 offers each year. 65% of those are based in France, 35% are international. So as you can see, there's a lot of choice. We have, as I was talking about, the career fairs, and as I wanted to mention as well, our careers fairs are online this year and have prior to this been partly online, partly on site. We're hoping to come back to this hybrid model in the future, but every service that we provide can be on and offline. 200 companies present to recruit you at our career fairs, and 200 professionals present at our events, again, to give you advice and tips and to help you network and start your careers. As I mentioned, the individual career appointments, 1,500 individual career appointments each year for students who need to go through individual concerns, whether it's about their career project, whether it's about their strategy for searching, whether it's about getting motivation and dynamism in their search. We can intervene in all kinds of ways. Also, 105 courses or pedagogical activities. So as I was mentioning, we're going to give you a lot of content and a lot of information, but we're going to get you active around those things. So they're active courses in small groups, and you're going to learn very actively in a modern way. Also, these 90 student associations, so there really is something for everyone in the student association culture at Neoma, whether it's sports, whether it's culture, whether it's perhaps charitable associations, whether it's environmentally friendly associations. There's all kinds of associations. Also, we're going to provide you with a lot of platforms online. That's something that we're going to actually subscribe as a school so that you can access freely to all of these resources. And that's really something today that we find very, very helpful for you. So we're going to produce some of these resources. We have private resources on the Job Teaser site. We have a private section, My Career at Neoma, with all kinds of career advice and links and videos. And we also link to Human Roads. Human Roads is a project that Neoma has done. It's a very innovative project, which is in collaboration with a French tech company, actually data mining their LinkedIn profiles of our alumni to tell you within which degree program or specialization, exactly what internships, what jobs, what careers these alumni are having and have had. So that really helps you to get a feel for, you do this degree, what could this lead to, and give you ideas. And also in this data mining, it's not only an overall picture, you can also see individual career profiles and go ahead and click on the LinkedIn profiles of alumni, and then of course proceed to contact them, but that I will let Michael and Maud mention a bit later in more detail. Now, we also have partners with IAGORA. This is job information and opportunities abroad. Going Global, it's an excellent resource, which again, we pay for, we subscribe to, so you can have your free premium account. And this includes extensive job guides for each country that you might be interested in going to. There's over 50 countries in the site, and they're about 300-page guides, but don't worry, you don't have to read everything. You just click on the bits that are interesting for you. And the interesting thing is that those guides are produced by career advisors like me and Maud, but in the country concerned. So Going Global is a really excellent resource, and it's free for you. Hired, it's an elite group of universities around the world. They produce career fairs with elite jobs and internship offers. Also, a lot of advice on that site. Careernomics, again, for master students, it's a really great resource which we are subscribing to give you the benefit. And the last new platform that we subscribe to, Assessment Day, this is a site which prepares you for complex recruitment selection procedures and tests. And it's really, really useful to actually go and get a difficult to obtain job. So we really recommend this, and it's something, again, which is going to be free for you when you join NEOMA. So what I wanted to say also was, can you get an internship in France if you don't speak French? This is a question which you have really often. I think it's really important for you to know that, of course, your studies in NEOMA are going to be in English. You're going to be able to do a lot of things in English, and most French people speak at least some level of English. However, in the job market in France, of course, like everywhere else, the job market is competitive. And generally speaking, for jobs and internships in France, you're going to need some level of French. You're going to need an operational level of French. And so we really advise you, if you can, to learn as much French as possible before you come to France. And of course, there's possibilities for you to continue learning French while you're here. But French is a tough language. I think everyone can agree on that. And it's really important for you to have a level of French when you arrive, if at all possible. Also, what I wanted to mention was in terms of the student jobs that you are entitled in general with your visa to do, we have actually quite a lot of ways to help you with that. We sometimes have jobs on our campuses, for example, in the library, and also we have student associations, which we have 2 student consulting junior companies, and these can hire you for consulting projects recruited by big companies. So those are Alteo Conseil and NRC in Reims. And then you also have 2 student job associations, which are basically like temporary hiring agencies for more short-term jobs. And these are Neo Job Service in Rouen and Atout Job Service in Reims. So those are ways in which we can actually help you to obtain a student job. And I would say that in terms of your skills, all experience and every experience is really useful, whether it's doing a student job, whether it's doing sports, whether it's doing cultural events. All these things are things which we work on to help you with your personal branding and to make the difference in your recruitment. Of course, when you're young and you're looking for an internship or a job, you don't have 10 years of experience in companies to call upon. You need to base yourself on actual experiences which are maybe not in the professional context, but can really give something to recruiters and show your potential. So we help you to work through that. I'm going to now ask Brenda to reactivate her microphone, because she's kindly agreed to join us today and tell us about her experience with talent and career and finding an internship. Brenda, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great,
Can
thanks.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect. So Brenda, thanks so much for joining us. I wanted to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you came to Neoma to do?
Sure. Well, I'm from Peru. I came from Latin America, and I came to France to study a master's degree in marketing French excellence in Rouen with Neoma.
And in that degree, as part of the degree, you had a mandatory professional experience. Can you tell us about that, the experience that you found?
Sure. Well, I need to do an internship, so I work for Yves Rocher in the offices in Paris. For the people who may not know probably Yves Rocher is one of the top beauty and cosmetic brands in France, and it belongs to the Group Rocher, which is a French group that has presence in more than 110 countries. And they made like more than 2 billion euros in terms of turnover. So I was really glad that I have this opportunity to do my internship there.
That's great, Brenda. What exactly did you do with Yves Rocher? What was your job?
Well, I work for the International Retail Merchandising Department, where I have to do a lot of recommendations about product assortment to all of the other countries outside France.
Okay, great, thank you. How did you find that internship?
Okay, specifically this offer, I found it through the Facebook group of Neoma. We as students belong to a Facebook group where most of the time students and alumni share opportunities, job offers. So in my case, I found a post there regarding an internship at Yves Rocher, and like I had to send my CV and my motivational letter to the email of the manager. So that's how I applied to that company.
Great. So you actually had a personal contact from that was posted by a Neoma alumni or an intern before you. Okay, great. And
exactly, yes.
How did you prepare for that interview?
Okay, so first, as mentioned, they asked me to send an email with a CV and motivational letters. So what I did is I contacted the talent career department, because there are special professionals that help you to review your CV, either if it's in English, French, or even Spanish and Germany. So I first contact them to make sure I have a proper CV with a strong and good motivational letter. And later on, when they called me for the interview process, I came back again to the talent career department so I can have to practice and exercise, like to simulate how my interview will be.
Okay, great. So those were some of the services from Talents and Career that you actually used, obviously with great effect. And were there any other services that you could mention that you found helpful during your time at Neoma in terms of Talents and Career?
Yes, actually, I was really glad that I have different kind of resources thanks to Neoma. And one of the most I liked the most was the workshops that they were organized during my whole master degree. For example, I remember 2 of them that for me were really useful. One was the individual trajectory, which are like 2 sessions where I can identify and know myself better, like which were my strengths and also my areas to improve. Later on, I also love the second workshop regarding the strategy, like what are the strategy I should follow to find and have a successful career in France. Okay, I love those workshops, but also like I really found really helpful the individual appointments we can have with you and other professional consultants.
Okay, thank you so much, Brenda. Yeah, once again, at any stage of your course in Neoma, you can have access to those. So as you can see, Brenda did come and use our services, and we're very glad about the result. Brenda, can you tell us, are there any other tips that you'd like to give to our audience today? All the prospective students who will be in the same shoes as you were when you were looking for your internship, anything that you could advise them?
Okay, so I think first, like, if you come to France and you would like to have a professional career here, I would strongly suggest, as you have mentioned before, to start learning French as soon as possible. Like, I think if it's an international company, you still need to learn a little bit of French in order to have a conversational level, so you can integrate easily to the working environment here. That's what would be one of my advices. And the second one would be to approach the Talent Career Center as soon as possible. Like, for example, me during my search, like the first times I tried to apply to companies here, I tried to read my best but alone. Later on, I contact you, and it was really helpful. And actually, if I would need to change something about my strategy and what I have done before, would be to take advantage of all the resources that Neoma offers us.
Okay, thank you so much, Brenda. I think we're going to stop there. Maybe there'll be some more questions for you later, but thank you so much for your testimonial. So I'd like to pass over to Neoma Alumni, our experts, Michael Joly and Maud Sesco. Thank you.
Hello again, everyone. We are very happy to meet you. And I propose you to present you Neoma Alumni. I'm very happy to see you because me graduated from the school, and it's always a pleasure to meet alumni or future alumni like you. If you want to find tips when you are in the school, if you want to find a first job, you can contact us, Maud and I, and we will be very happy to help you. I propose you to change the slide to present you very good the associations. Here you have all the figures you have to know, and the most important, you will be a part of the network as soon as you are in France and in NEOMA Business School. Our network, the network of NEOMA Business School, is better than ESSEC, EDEC, Emilion, Schema, Cage, because the network is managed daily by 8 employees and is independent. A member receives a paper directory free of charge with the contact details of all alumni. And we are a big family because we are 75,200. He also received a quarterly magazines with interviews and articles. This makes it possible to contact the alumni by talking about their interview or the last interventions during, for example, a conference. It really works. Please, if you join NEOMA Business School, if you are lucky for that, don't send an email to a graduate people, an alumna or an alumnus, and you don't have to say, hey, we did the same school. Please find me a job, find me an internship, because it doesn't work. You have to send an email with a real interest. Oh, I see you during the event, during the conference. I love your tools. Please, can we exchange during your last interventions? And it works very good. And you are our future. The direction the network will take depends on you. NEOMA Alumni and NEOMA Business School welcome what you want. The NEOMA Alumni Associations currently has 75,200 alumni, and you are alumnus or an alumna since you are students. You are 9,500 students, and we are 65,600 graduates. This means that you already have free access to a profile on neomaalumni.com. That already makes you appear in the online graduate directory. Graduate people can find your mail and propose you an internship, for example. Thanks to your profile, you can network absolutely for free. For example, by updating your profile in other track recruiters and be credible in the eyes of alumni. You have to join clubs and tribes. We purpose this to group together alumni according to specializations of a domain. Clubs are groupings of alumni based on geographic area, and you have dozens of each. They are very useful as they allow you to identify interesting alumni. Based on your professional goals, you need to identify those who can help you by reading the association's magazine, for example. You can read the whole ones for free or participating free of charge in the Zoom events. Contact them afterwards. It's very, very effective. And as you can see, we have 25% of alumni which are located abroad. If you want to work, we can help you, even if you want to make, for example, after a VIE or an internships. And we have 640 events a year. It's a lot. And during the pandemic, we have making Zoom like this, of course. I propose you to change, and you can find us on Network if you want. Here you have a map with all the country where we are. And if you want to do an internships in China, in Hong Kong, in the United States, in Africa, you can take your phone and say, hi, I'm coming. Can we do a restaurant? Because it's open again and we are all happy for that. So if you want to have a lunch or to make a restaurant with us, we are very happy to welcome you and don't hesitate. So yes, if you join Neoma Business School, go on your profile on neomaalumni.com. It's free. Join clubs, join tribes, and send us an email. We will be very, very happy to speak with you or to help you to find a job on internships and provide tips. I'm very lucky because I'm here with Maud Sesko. She is the head of Career Center, and every Monday she helps students. If you have questions, she will be happy to respond to you. But she welcomes students and she provides tips to find an internships, an interview with alumni, and it's our work. We are here every day to help you.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, in fact, the Career Center is here to help you to find maybe your first job or to go with you all your career professional from your first job to your retirement. We have some webinar, we have some coaching, we have some workshop which are created to help you for that. And actually, we have a new program, which is my new job, which allows to you to meet some mentor to begin in your professional life.
Thank you very much, Maud. Do you have maybe a few questions on Neoma Alumni? Or we are maybe very clear, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you both, Maud and Michael, and I'll pass back over to Xiaotong.
Yes, thank you. Okay, great. So I think as most of you have already followed other webinars about Neoma's programs and admissions, so I will just introduce very briefly the step-by-step. And again, if you have other questions, don't hesitate to contact us in our admission email. So basically, if you are having a high school leaving certificate, you will find your bachelor programs, your dream bachelor programs at Neoma. For example, we have for international students, 100% English taught 4-year bachelor programs. As you can see here, GBBA and CSEM. And also for GBBA program, we have a special and the only intake for the 3rd year if you have validated your first 2-year business study in another business school. And if you are looking for a master program, we are offering master programs in 2 years or 1 year. So if you are a holder of a 3-year bachelor degree, you can either apply for the Master in Management, which is a 2-year master program, 100% double degree, by the way, or apply for our international pre-master, which allows you to go to, in the 2nd year, one of our 18th Master of Science. And if you are a holder of a 4-year bachelor degree or 3-year bachelor degree within 1 year related working experience, you can apply directly to one of our Master of Science. If you have some questions about choosing which program meets me the most and which program I'm eligible, so this kind of questions, you can put a Calendly appointment with our recruiters based on your region. They will give you the best suggestions. So since the programs are 100% taught in English, we will require some English level. As you can see here, we accept TOEIC, TOEFL, IELTS. This year, we start to accept Cambridge at minimum 175 for Cambridge. So if your previous education was not told 100% in English, we will need one of these 4 official English tests. Please, Vicky, can you go to the next? Yes, thank you. So all the applications are online. You can see here, apply Neoma BS. Don't worry, you can only Google it, apply Neoma, you will find the first address is here. So basically you will be very clearly guided step by step. You will need to upload the required document as enrollment certification if you don't have your final degree yet. If you are already graduated, of course, we will need your highest degree. And all the transcripts you have for your last education, 2 reference letters, your CV, and you only need to answer some online motivation questions in your application account. And then once all the documents are okay, we will invite you to do the online interview. Once the interview is done, we will give you the admission results within 2 weeks. I see a lot of questions asking about the scholarship, if we have some funding solutions for international students. We do offer a merit-based scholarship for our international students, but pay attention that at this period of time, we have very limited project. Since the deadline for our spring intake, for our September intake is the end of June. For our October intake, the deadline of application is end of July. For spring intake in January, the deadline of application is end of October. So for those who didn't submit their application yet, I will encourage you to really hurry up. Besides the scholarship for the application of scholarship, basically you will first of all need to be admitted by one of our program. If your academic performance is good enough and your interview performance was great enough, we will propose you automatically the opportunity of the scholarship up to 4,000 euro to be reduced in your tuition fee. If we don't propose, it means that you are not eligible for that. So if you have any further question, my colleague will, yes, she just left the Calendly link with which you can book an appointment or send an email to our admission general email. It will be read in very brief delay. Thank you. I think that's, yes, great. So I think that's all. If you have some questions, please don't hesitate. You can always raise your hand and ask aloud your question. And Katie, if you see some questions we didn't mention during the webinar.
We've not had any, so please feel free to ask now. It's the moment to do it. Any questions at all as well, if you're not feeling brave, please do feel free to write them into the chat box. But for the moment, we haven't had any as of yet. I don't know if there's any points that anybody who's presented wishes to retouch on.
Since we don't have questions yet, so Vicky, maybe you can talk about some questions that you have always been asking during, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very important, something that Michael said earlier about how to use the alumni network. Yeah, we have an amazing alumni network. So many people, so many industries, so many countries. So really, that is an amazing resource, and it's very important to use it with the appropriate care, and the way you do it is going to be very important. So yes, something that's very important for you all to know is that alumni network there's a really great culture of helping each other, the alumni helping students. So that really exists. However, it's up to you to have the right kind of approach, and we are there to guide you with that. We've produced all kinds of written guides on our website for that, and we can also go through that in an individual appointment, so you can make the most of our alumni networks. That's really important. I saw that there's a few people with their hands raised right now.
Yeah, I see that Dian Shu. I don't know if I pronounce well your name. You can, if you want, you can activate your micro and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. And it's a great pleasure to connect with Neoma Business School. Ma'am, actually, I submitted my application and I also got selected for NEOMA Business School following the interview process. And I'm actually from India. But the thing is that given the COVID pandemic, the student visas from India to France have been suspended. So, like, can the classes be held online, or can we extend the date further, like, for attending the classes? Like, can there be some arrangement since the
Oh,
student visas have been put on hold for India?
thank you for your requirements, but I'm so sorry. I think now we cannot give you a confirmed answer. And by the way, I want to mention that for this kind of question, next week we will have another webinar, the May 26th at 3 p.m. French time, held by our student service. They will know better information about the visa. And for my recruitment level, I know that we are preparing everything to be on campus for next intake, for the autumn intake. But we are already ready to keep the hybrid mode. If the current situation not allows students to come join us. So the hybrid format is available too. If in any case, because I don't know, the political reason or sanitary reason that you cannot join us, you can follow the classes online at the first until you can join us physically. But for the more specific visa or residency questions, these kind of questions, you can wait for the webinar of next week. And in any case, I think you will get the communication about this webinar. And I see some questions also about application. Again, please send your email, send to our general email your question when we will tell you more information in detail.
I think Walid has a question. Would you like to ask a question, Walid?
Yes, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank you for this webinar. And I have a question regarding the PhD scholarship in business administration. I sent email yesterday about the research proposal, because one of your requirements that you need one, my research proposal should be one of the suggested topics. You already have suggested topics about them. So I already have a research proposal. It's about the impact of fintech on customer satisfaction in France. So I would like to know if it's working or not, if it's one of the suggested topic or not, because I would like to proceed to submit my application before the deadline.
Hi, Walid. I'm
That's my
going to
first
jump in
question.
here. I'm so sorry. The people that we're speaking to, as I mentioned in the message, unfortunately, we're not able to answer these questions about your specific proposal, but I can guarantee your message has been sent through to the doctoral school and somebody's going to come back to you with regards to your proposal.
All right. Just my request is that to be before the deadline, because you know that it would be before the deadline is in 31st of May.
And
This
don't
is my
you
request.
worry, it's a lot of
All right.
time for us to get this done. You'll definitely have a response before the deadline. So please don't worry. The important thing is that you've submitted your application.
All right. I have another question regarding the transcript and the graduation certificate of my master. I already finished my master and I already graduated, but I have not received it, the graduation certificate yet. So may I submit the admission letter temporary until receive the graduation certificate?
Yep, that's not a problem, but you will have to make sure that you can provide all of your documents to show that you've graduated before starting the program if you're admitted.
Yes, of course, I already
Perfect.
graduated, but you know that it takes some time to receive.
Of course.
The
but we would need these documents if you're admitted before you start the program. So for applying purposes, that won't be a problem.
All right. One more question, and this is the last question. Is there any application fees or not?
Yes, for our programs, normally the application fee is €100.
For the PhD program?
Exactly.
It can't be waived, or?
Unfortunately not for the PhD program. It's €100 to apply for this one.
All right.
Thank you so much for your question, Walid.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know that I see that a lot of questions are really about admissions. So Katie, can you please leave again our general admission emails? Please don't hesitate to send your question in this email. We receive a lot, hundreds and hundreds emails each day, but to be sure that we always have someone looking for that, and we will reply you as soon as we can. But to be sure that we will treat all your requirements. I don't know if someone will have some questions, has some questions about the career, or someone worried about your career opportunities after your graduation. It is time. And otherwise, yes, please, Katie, thank you. This is the admission, as you can see, chat box now. Admissions, neomabs.fr. This is the email to send all your questions about admission, about program, if you are eligible or not. So don't hesitate to contact us by this. We will come back to you very, very soon. And housing, Vivian, housing question, please follow the next week, May 26th, there's a webinar called How Does Neoma Support Its International Students? You will find your best answers during this webinar. And my colleague, will leave the link of this webinar in the chat box as well. So if we don't have any other career questions, thank you for your time. In any case, if you have some questions, you can always send an email to us, and we will transfer your email to Talent and Career Center.
Hi. Oh, sorry. This is Ramya. Can you hear me? Sorry, unfortunately, I could not find an option to raise my hand. So
okay, it's okay.
Well, I'm Ramya. I'm enrolled for the Masters in Human Resources course for September intake, and I'm currently working in Abu Dhabi. And yes, like you said, one of the concerns that all of us will have is getting an internship and working part-time when we come to France, especially during this, pandemic. And I'm not really sure if we have any alumni for the human resources, professionals. We do?
Yeah, absolutely. Neoma has had a human resources specialization. Admittedly, it's not the biggest specialization or MSc course that we have, but we've had that for years. And so we have HR professionals and HR directors, which have come out of Neoma and who are in our online network. Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. And, how do you think, students have been, looking out for the internships during the last 1 year? During pandemic? I know it's challenging, but do you think we can crack an internship or a job in a year's time?
I think as you say, we've all lived through, and we're living through at the moment a really challenging situation. What we've seen is that probably the most important thing is to, number one, be very motivated, very organized and early, and number two, not panic. It's quite easy to, if you watch too much rolling TV news, to feel that the situation is even worse than it actually is. Just today, I mean, I've had various contacts with students who are in interview processes right now, which is proof that there are jobs and internships around. We have our indicators regarding signing internship agreements are very good. They're actually at 2019 levels at the moment. So the point is, you have absolutely every reason to be optimistic about your professional future and right from your internship at the end of your year. Having said that, once again, a question of attitude, motivation, organization, and all the efforts that you're personally going to make, whilst also being well accompanied and supported by Neoma services, and coming and asking for advice and making sure that you're using all those services, like Brenda said earlier.
Right. Okay, that sounds good, and it's really inspiring to hear from Brenda and Mikhail, because they are the live examples. So it's nice, and thank you so much, and looking forward to meet you all in October.
Looking forward to seeing you then.
Thank you.
Hello, can I go for a quick question?
Of course.
So I'm currently a student in process of engineering. I'm going to apply in NEOMA for project management for a master's degree.
Okay.
Okay, so for the second year, I've seen in the website that we got some internships and etc. So since I'm going to be an engineer, do I get an internship in the engineering in the companies, or do you work with specific companies?
We work with a lot of different companies, because as I mentioned, we publish thousands and thousands of job ads each year. We have a very big company network and such a big alumni network that we are indirectly in contact with all of their companies as well. So of course, are there going to be engineering companies in that list? Of course there will be, but basically our main focus is all the business subject areas, and therefore your profile will be very interesting to companies, because you will have a dual profile, both on the engineering side and the project management side. But you don't have a typical NEOMA profile, in the sense that not all our students do have that double profile. So what I'm saying is, I think that your profile is going to be very interesting for companies. I think that we have some existing companies where you're going to have really good opportunities, and also maybe opportunities to develop your networking in order to enhance your opportunities on your own side, and we can, with our advice, if you need to.
Thank you very much. So the internship is so we get to choose the internship according to our background. Is that it?
The internship, obviously, you have every advantage to use all of your skill set on finding your internship and sell all of that to a company. Having said that, in order to validate an internship, of course, if you're doing pure engineering and you're doing a business degree or a project management degree, that doesn't really fit. So we're going to be looking at, is your internship at an appropriate level and using your business skills? There will be a validation phase on your internship. You won't be able to do pure engineering.
That was a very clear answer. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And just for you to know, we have a very famous CEO, for example, CEO of Lacoste, CEO of the Champagne, Veuve Clicquot, CEO of Ferrero Rocher. It's all the alumni. So you have very famous brand, famous firm, which come from NEOMA Business School, and they will be happy to welcome in their company students from NEOMA.
Thank you, Mikhail, for the precision. And I see we get another question from Vinita. Is it difficult to get an internship or job if we don't have any previous professional experience?
Well, like I was mentioning, in that case, it's very important to think about your overall experience. What did you do during your studies? What kind of student clubs and associations, sports, culture, maybe volunteering activities you've done, and be able to make the most of everything which can prove to a recruiter that you have the potential that they're looking for. So again, it's not necessarily about what you've already done professionally, but it's about your full experience and how you can sell that. And also, it's not too late. The minute you arrive in France, if you have a student visa, which allows you to do a student job, then it may be a great opportunity to get a few hours work a week, show that you can integrate into a team in another country, and actually have a professional experience right away. And even I want to say something that's really important. I know that maybe for a lot of people, maybe working in McDonald's or this type of job, you might look down on it. But actually, that is the type of job that you can build on to show that you have what it takes to integrate into a team, to do a good job, to be appreciated, to interact with customers. There's all kinds of skills that you can develop and then put forward to a recruiter. So don't think that there are low-level experiences that won't help you. It's really important to capitalize on every experience that you've already had and all the experiences that you can have when you join NEOMA.
Great, thank you. We also have a question from Vivian Chen. Will we have some opportunity to start our own business that's invested by Neoma?
As you know, Neoma has 3 incubators and 2 accelerators. So we have a very great entrepreneurial culture at Neoma. That's not actually part of the talent and career department. It's a separate department. But what I can say is that there's student associations that are also involved in pushing the entrepreneurship agenda. That's Déclic Entreprendre. They're very active, and they do visits of companies abroad as well, startups abroad. So I think you come to the right place if you want to start your business. We also have, I've heard before, international students who've joined Neoma having already started their online e-commerce businesses. That's something that we've already seen. And I would say that either you can use that to develop as an entrepreneur, or you can also use those skills to sell yourself to a future recruiter for a job or an internship. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. And another question, actually, I have been asked several times, is it possible for a foreigner to work in France after graduating from Neoma?
Yes, absolutely. I think once you have a degree from French institution, you then have 1 year that you're allowed to look for a job and find a job and work here. And then you can build on that and get further residency permits. So it's definitely, pardon.
Yeah, sorry. By the way, from last year, we have got all of our master program, we have got the highest recognition that French government can give, which is called the Grade Master, which allows you to apply for the APS, for the 1 year residency after graduation, to do anything you want. Actually, you can try to find a job, to build up your own startup. So it allows you to stay, yes, 1 year to find a job, actually. And then the Grad Master also allows you, if you want to go for a PhD.
Great.
Sorry, I've got 2 questions. First question, do Neoma offers international internship? So let's say in Canada or America, the US.
I think that's a great question. I think the point is that when you come to Neoma as a student here in France, you then have your residence permit, which allows you to carry out your internship in France, okay? For any other countries, it's going to be an application to obtain a visa. So of course, Neoma can give you the paperwork to say you have a mandatory internship to do, but we're not going to actually be able to get you that visa. That's an individual action that you're going to need to do with the embassy or consulate concerned. So, for example, for any student from France who's looking to do an internship in America, unless they're extremely lucky and they have a company that's prepared to pay and sponsor them through their visa, which I have never personally seen that situation, these students are going to pay a sponsor agency for a J1 visa in order to be able to go and do an internship in America. That's how it works. And so I think it may be similar in Canada as well.
Second question is for admission process. For someone who is applying for, let's say, project management, and he already has a background in engineering or something that isn't related to his application, does his grades are considered in the application?
I think that's really for you, Xiaotong. We can't hear you, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get the question.
So let's say in my case, as an engineer, I'll be applying to project management. For someone who is coming from a whole different background, are my grades being considered in the application or not?
Yes, actually, not all of our programs accept background non-related, I see. But for international project development, we do recruit different background students.
Do you got a specific GPA or specific marks?
No, actually, we don't have a hard requirement for GPA or something else. We look at more about the whole package of the quality of your application. That means your English level, if your motivation is good enough, is convincing enough, and your internship experience, for example. And at our admission procedure, the interview is very important. So you need to show during all the procedure that you are motivated, and also is reasonable, is logic why you want to change the sector.
Okay, does professional experience is considered as well in the application?
It's not compulsory.
So meaning, let's say I have 3 years professional experience. Is it going to?
It could help, but if without that, we will not reject you for that. Let's see. So
Okay.
for your case, please book an appointment with Calendly link with one of our recruiters. We will help you better in details. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
I think we can stop here today. We got a lot of questions, and yeah, thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for your time and your participation. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget that May 26th, 3 p.m. French time, you will have another webinar about all the student service that Neoma can provide for his international students, called How Does Neoma Support Its International Students? I have no doubt that you will receive the communication, and don't hesitate to participate. Thank you again.
Good luck, everyone. Thank you.
I'll take this opportunity to say how the background of the admission Neoma is. I like it. The castle behind. It's pretty great. Not gonna lie.
This one, yes.
You have a great day. Thank you very much.
Hello, bye.
Have a very good afternoon. Thank you to you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.